Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. You know, we've all worked with someone we don't like. Personal differences are part of life on the job. In professional wrestling though, there's the potential for serious injury when your coworker doesn't like you. Here are 16 instances where wrestlers refuse to work with one another. Number 1, William Regal and Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg received an amazing push in WCW with Eric Bischoff feeding him opponent after opponent to squash. Although Goldberg's matches tended to be short, his 2/9/98 match on Monday Nitro against William Regal, known as Lord Steven Regal in WCW, was different. Goldberg seemed in trouble as Regal used technical wrestling holds to neutralize Goldberg's power advantage. Watching the match, fans couldn't help but notice something different. Goldberg was struggling and the match seemed awkward. There were blown spots such as Goldberg trying a shoulder block on Regal and a terribly executed swinging neckbreaker. Announcer Tony Schiavone even tried to cover for Goldberg, saying he didn't get all of his effort into it. The match went on much longer than usual for a Goldberg match. Eventually, Goldberg hit the spear and the jackhammer on Regal, but even that looked odd. Regal seemed to be fighting Goldberg when he lifted him up. Some believe that this was further evidence that Regal was trying to make Goldberg look foolish. Others believe Regal was trying to show Goldberg how to overcome a technical wrestler. Rumors arose that Regal shot on Goldberg to remind him how much he needed his opportunities to get over. Regal claims he and Goldberg were told to work a 6-minute match and that Goldberg couldn't keep up with him. Regal was let go. Some claim immediately, but Regal claims it was not. Goldberg's monster push continued despite this setback. Number 2, Shawn Michaels vs. Vader. In 1996, WWE was in trouble, losing viewers to WCW and its white-hot New World Order angle. When Mr. McMahon brought in Vader after WCW fired him after a backstage altercation with Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, fans anticipated the big man battling top WWE stars. Vader's SummerSlam title shot against WWE champion Shawn Michaels was supposed to lead to a title win at Survivor Series, followed by losing the belt back to Michaels at Royal Rumble. However, Michaels refused to put Vader over for the title. What was the reason? Was Michaels, a known prima donna in the 90s, being a jerk? In this case, Michaels was legitimately concerned about his health. Vader was known for working stiff and accidentally hurting opponents in the ring. During one match, Michaels threatened to put Vader back on a plane to Colorado if he didn't let up. Michaels had no intention of working a regular schedule with the clumsy Vader. Number 3, Billy Gunn and Steve Austin. You may be noticing a pattern here. A main event wrestler has a lot of juice when it comes to whom he wrestles against, even more when it comes to losing. Here, WWE wanted to elevate badass Billy Gunn from tag team wrestler into a top singles star. When Austin's year-long absence from wrestling was explained by a storyline that a mystery man ran him down with a car, Gunn was proposed as the driver. However, Austin vetoed this and the driver was revealed to be Rikishi. Rumor has it that Gunn was not well liked backstage due to a bad attitude and bullying other wrestlers, thus Austin said no to working with him. Gunn's push fizzled and he was immediately teamed back up with the Road Dogg. Number 4, Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. In 1993, Bret Hart was being groomed to lead the WWE. Hulk Hogan was given the opportunity to put Hart over, establishing him as a legitimate champion. Instead, Hogan dropped the title to Yokozuna before leaving WWE. Hart was furious, accusing Hogan of double-crossing him. Hogan claims in his autobiography that he hadn't heard of the match with Hart until Hart had confronted him about it. Hogan believes Vince McMahon sold Hart on the idea, backpedaling out of it when he and Hart queried him about it. Hogan would leave WWE and Hart would take over as the promotion's leading babyface. Those who feel Hogan backed out claim it was due to Hogan's fear that he'd be upstaged by Hart's technical ability. This seems unlikely as Hogan was previously able to work good matches with technicians like Ted DiBiase and Mr. Perfect. If Hogan did refuse to wrestle Hart, it was because he believed losing to a smaller wrestler would hurt his credibility. Number 5, CM Punk and Triple H. WWE has made much use of the "don't cross the boss" storylines. In this case, Punk crossed the boss with Triple H, who has considerate power backstage due to being Vince McMahon's son-in-law, walking out of WWE after he learned he was working a match at Wrestlemania 30 with Triple H. Why didn't Punk want to wrestle Triple H, a man he'd worked with before? In this case, Punk had a number of grievances against WWE itself, including never getting to main event WrestleMania, a lack of direction in his career, questionable payouts, working injured, and working with sloppy wrestlers such as Ryback. While Triple H represented WWE to a degree, Punk's real ire wasn't limited to Triple H. Number 6, Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Austin had walked out on WWE, fans were shocked to hear it was because he refused to lose to Brock Lesnar. While there's a good argument that Austin was justified in refusing to work with Double J and Billy Gunn, Brock Lesnar seemed different. Lesnar was a monster with real-life wrestling credentials. WWE fed him its top stars, which he promptly destroyed, getting over in the process. Austin versus Lesnar would be a huge draw, as fans wondered whether Stone Cold could defeat the Beast. There lies Austin's disagreement. He didn't mind putting Lesnar over, but he wasn't going to do it in a meaningless television match with no build-up. He envisioned a well-booked angle, leading to a big match, preferably on pay-per-view. Austin felt this short-sighted booking was a symptom of deeper problems plaguing the company, and he wanted no part of it, thus his walkout. Number 7. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. WWE's two greatest workers during the New Generation and Attitude Era were also bitter rivals behind the scenes. This culminated in the Montreal Screwjob, an infamy still fresh in fans' minds. Why was there so much bad blood? Supposedly, the Hitman's hatred for Shawn Michaels came after Michaels implied on the air that Hart, who was married, was sleeping with WWE beauty Sunny, Michaels' infamous Sunny Days comments. Actually, their animosity goes further back. At one point, Michaels invited Hart to join the clique, but Hart passed, unhappy with Michaels and his friends' drug use. Over time, Hart grew to dislike Michaels' sexy gyrations in the ring, feeling they were inappropriate for WWE's younger viewers. He also disliked how the clique buried and bullied new wrestlers. The Sunny Days comment was the proverbial straw, and Hart purportedly attacked Michaels backstage, ripping out some of his hair. If Michaels hadn't denied knowing of the Montreal Screwjob, Hart might have seriously hurt him given their bad blood. Number 8. Sting and Vince McMahon. Sting was arguably wrestling's hottest free agent following WCW's demise. While Sting was 42 when WCW folded, he still had a huge name recognition, and fans waited for him to sign with WWE. Rumor has it that Steve Borden was opposed to working in WWE due to the racy angles of the Attitude Era conflicting with his religious beliefs. Instead, he signed with TNA. Eventually, Sting signed with WWE in 2014, working a couple meaningless matches except in terms of paydays, until an injury forced his retirement. Number 9. Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts. This wasn't a case of bad blood, but a case of preventing disaster for WWE's top babyface. Roberts hit the stratosphere as a heel during his first WWE run. His killer promos, epic finisher, and feud with Ricky Steamboat quickly established him as the promotion's #1 heel. Roberts' talk show, The Snake Pit, was good enough that it even rivaled the glory days of Piper's Pit. A program with Hulk Hogan seemed inevitable, and the WWE booked an angle where Roberts DDT'd Hogan on an episode of The Snake Pit. The incident was supposed to launch a Hogan-Roberts program. Instead, it killed it when Hogan heard the fans cheering Roberts after he DDT'd him. Hogan balked at working a program with Roberts, uncertain how it would affect his status as WWE's top babyface. Vince McMahon was hesitant as well. WWE didn't like booking face versus face encounters, and they certainly didn't want the fans to choose Roberts over Hogan. Instead, Roberts was turned face. Number 10. The Rock and Shawn Michaels. After returning from injury in 2002, Shawn Michaels missed out on a chance to work a dream match against The Rock. The reason was very personal. Reportedly, Michaels wasn't overly supportive of The Rock during his early years in WWE, and The Rock had no desire to work with him once they were both main eventers. Number 11. Jeff Jarrett versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. While Jeff Jarrett found success in WCW and TNA as each promotion's world champion, that wasn't so in the WWE. Jarrett had a successful run as Intercontinental Champion in WWE and then worked for a year in WCW. In 1997, he returned to WWE, and rumors swirled that Jarrett would get a main event push, including title shots against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That program never happened. Why did Austin refuse to work with Jarrett? One recurring theme here is that wrestlers have a long memory for people who wronged them during their early years. Just ask Jerry Lawler, who found someone had pooped in his crown during his first run in WWE. Reportedly, Austin held a grudge about an earlier incident where Jarrett insulted Austin when Austin questioned low payouts by Jarrett's father. Another is that Austin wasn't endeared by Jarrett's work shoot, where he referred to the Austin 316 catchphrase as blasphemous. Whether it was for one or both of the above reasons, Austin nixed Jarrett's program. Jarrett would leave WWE in controversy when his contract expired a day before a pay-per-view match. Depending on whom you believe, Jarrett either held up the WWE for a large payout, or he got money he was owed. Regardless, Jarrett hasn't returned to WWE, and it's doubtful he and Austin exchanged Christmas cards. Number 12. Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Hulk Hogan returned to WWE in 2002, fans anticipated a one-on-one Hogan-Austin match, but it never happened. Fans wondered if Austin held a grudge against Hogan's run in WCW, where rising stars such as Austin became second banana not only to Hogan, but his cronies. In a 2005 interview, Austin felt Hogan wouldn't be able to keep up with him, and the match would have suffered. Instead, Hogan worked a program with The Rock. In hindsight, this worked out great as The Rock and Hogan stole the show at WrestleMania, their match cementing Hogan's face turn. Number 13, Bill Goldberg and Chris Jericho. During Goldberg's WCW heyday, Chris Jericho suggested he work a program with Goldberg. Jericho called out Goldberg during promos and even introduced his own bodyguard, Ralphus, mocking Goldberg's entourage of bodyguards. Goldberg refused the program with Jericho, and fans suspected Goldberg's ego got in the way. During his initial WCW mega push, Goldberg rarely worked more than one match with an opponent and had little to gain working with Jericho. When Goldberg arrived in WWE, he worked a brief program with Jericho both in the ring and out. Rumor has it that the two men clashed after Jericho confronted Goldberg backstage about negative comments Goldberg made, with Jericho easily dispatching Goldberg. Goldberg denies this happened. Based on their short run in WWE and the rumored brawl, there could indeed be bad blood. Number 14, CM Punk and Ryback. Ryback and CM Punk worked a program over Punk's WWE Championship. Rumors arose about animosity between Punk and Ryback. Punk refused to work with Ryback due to Ryback injuring him in the ring. Ryback's resume includes injuring Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. Punk was wise not to risk himself in further matches with Ryback. Number 15, Lex Luger and Ric Flair. Ric Flair refused to lose his world championship to Lex Luger when WCW president Jim Herd ordered him to do so. Flair told Herd to release him from his contract if he disagreed. Flair kept the belt until Sting returned, dropping it to Sting at 1990's Great American Bash. Some believe Flair felt losing to Luger was beneath him. This is hard to square with Flair's history of working world title matches with Luger before and after this incident. It's more likely that Flair wanted to honor the original plan to lose to Sting rather than any animosity towards Luger. Number 16, Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels. Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels worked a dream match at 2005's SummerSlam, with Hogan defeating Michaels. Michaels' extreme overselling in the match and a follow-up promo where he buried Hogan had fans scratching their heads. Rumors spread that Hogan and Michaels were scheduled for a best-of-3 series, but Hogan claimed a back injury prevented him from working any follow-ups. Hogan also reportedly insisted that Michaels work heel for the match. This upset Michaels, which explains his actions during the match and the promo. So guys, that's our list. If you can think of any other wrestlers with real backstage heat that did not want to work together in the ring, please drop us a comment below, let us know. If you like this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get more videos just like this one. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And as always, thanks for watching.